I am so excited to introduce y'all to something new that I have never done before, and I've never seen it before, but we're going to try it out together, right? So, this is season 1 of the Creative Conservatory podcast, whatever it's going to be named. I don't know yet. That's going to come to me later, but we're just going to start. So, the very first thing that I have to talk about is how to manage your time with these. So, really, this first season is going to be nothing but operations because I really think this is what creatives are missing. All creatives have so many great ideas and a lot of connections. And as much as sales and like funding and all of that is very important, and marketing, all of that is very important, none of it is going to matter if you cannot sustain it. If you cannot sustain it, if you cannot steward it, none of it will be long term. It will always be short term because you will always burn out. I cannot have that on my conscience as the former queen of self care. Absolutely not. If you do not recognize this voice, my name is Sydney. I am the dean of the Creative Conservatory. A lot of you will probably recognize this voice as Sydney Ray. That is also me. It's all one word, it's not two. It's not first name, last name. It is all one word. So this is how to manage your time with ease. Now, I'm not going to give y'all everything because this is actually a bundle that the Creative Conservatory offers that y'all can purchase. It's less than $10. I made sure of that. It is audiobook, it is workbook, it is handbook. I go through everything in great detail because trust me, the audiobook alone is like 40 something minutes. And it's really just a voice memo. You heard that right. A voice memo. Y'all want to know how I do everything? I make it as easy as possible for me to get things done. It's not always perfect. It's not always the prettiest, but I bet you it gets done, and done is better than perfect, and practice makes progress. You see where I'm going? So, this is how to manage your time with ease, a quick lesson in proven techniques to effectively operate your brand, business, or projects with more clarity and confidence than ever before. If you are having an issue with being consistent, this is going to help. If you're having an issue with gaining clarity around everything that you need to do, this will help. If you need confidence in what you're doing, because you're not seeing the results you want to see because you have not defined what that actually looks like to you, not to everybody else, not to the algorithms, not to the gurus, to you. This is going to help. Okay, let's get into it because I'm not going all over all 11 pages. Y'all have to buy the product, or like things like this don't get to happen, right? So one of the first questions I ask you, so I go over some things that I learned when I took a time management course. Shout out to the company that I worked for, where they actually had us take college courses as like leadership. Even with me in middle management, I took a course in time management. It was actually like time management 2, I think, with CPCC. And so I was able to take that class and actually learn from somebody who, it's a whole professor. I don't have a degree, but it's a whole professor teaching this. And it unlocked so many things for me. I still use these principles to this day. That's why I can do as much as I can do, even while working not a traditional 9 to 5. It's more like a 5 to 1, but that's not the point. So what does success look like? I almost couldn't talk. Look like if you complete those routine tasks. What if you don't? What does failure look like to you? So this is like, I asked basically, what are your routine tasks? Basically the things that you do all the time that need to get done. But I want you to define this anyway. What does success look like for you? If you complete the thing that is on your mind, what does success look like? What does success look like for you, period? What does that look like? What does it feel like? And if you don't succeed in the way that you just defined it, what does that look like? What do you feel like? What does failure look like to you? Because I'll tell you what it looks like for me. Failure for me is not failure, it's a lesson. I can't fail if I'm learning. Like, if I learned from it, I might have misstepped. I might have made a mistake. But fail? That sounds finite. It's not. I learned. I grew. Not a failure. Maybe disappointed. Maybe a disappointment at the moment. But I didn't fail. I learned. That's a win for me. So we do not let fear win around here. Now, fear can take a back seat. Okay? It can be in a passenger if you haven't gotten the authority, okay, to kick it to the back seat or kick it to the curb. but like it cannot drive. I'm gonna need you to just go. It, is it real loud right now? I need you to just go ahead, just give it a sippy cup or something, and like, or iPad or something, and tell it to sit there because we doing this. Failure isn't a dirty word. Trying is how we grow, and facing what we're afraid of takes our power back. So yes, do this part. If you just have a journal right now, do this part. If you don't have the funds to buy the bundle right now, do this part. That's fine. That's part of the reason I am putting this on YouTube. I want y'all to do this yourselves and actually write it down. If you just write it down in the comment because you want somebody else to hold you accountable to it, put it in the comment. Don't even write it in a journal. Put it in the comment. So, you ready for this next part? Okay. So, this beautiful thing, it's called the Eisenhower Matrix, but I like to call it the Important Urgent Matrix. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, when I say the way this unlocked things in my brain that I was just like, I'm sorry, why is that correct? And why has nobody phrased it that way before? And now, mind you, I learned this in like, oh goodness, I want to say it was like it was before 2020. So, which there's a reason I timestamped that. If you know, okay? Because you lived through it. So, it was, I want to say it was like 2019, 2018, somewhere around there. So, the urgent, important, urgent matrix, however you want to phrase it. Beautiful. 4 quadrants, right? Top left is where you start with 1, top right is 2, the bottom left is 3, and then the bottom right is 4. That being said, the top left, before you're like, oh my gosh, everything's going to go there. Absolutely not. If you are spending all your time in that quadrant right there, you are doing it incorrectly. You are doing it wrong. That's why you're burning out. And Peanut says hi. That is... What are we going to call you, Peanut? Are you I don't know. We'll find a name for her official title at the Creative Conservatory. Because when I say she's literally in almost every call, she's in every call. And in all the things. So, the urgent, important matrix, the way I think I learned it, that you want to spend like 20% of your time here, or less, basically less time here. I would say like 10%. If you can get away with 10% of your time here, cool. If you can't, I get it, especially when you first start doing this. I get it. So basically, you brain dump all of your tasks. Do it on a separate sheet or a separate page in your journal. Brain dump everything. Don't try to label it about, well, this is urgent. No, I need stream of consciousness. Like, let it all go. Once you do that, you are going to come categorize it. And everything cannot go in that first quadrant. In fact, 80% of what you have on that paper will probably end up in the important but not urgent quadrant. Quadrant 2, that top right. That top right quadrant is where you're going to spend most of your time. These are things that move the needle forward in your brand, your business, whatever project you're working on. These are the things that like normally you're passionate about. And because urgent things keep popping up, you keep pushing them back. These are the things that you care about 9 times out of 10. That is the quadrant you want to spend the most time in. That bottom left, that urgent but not important, quadrant 3, it's literally like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. And I don't care about it, but somebody else cares about it. And I have to get it done. But it's not going to move the needle in my business or brand or project, but like it has to get done. Like it just has to. Put that stuff there. Now, if it's not important and not urgent, there's a reason I'm gonna say this, because that's like the things that distract you all the time, that like you're doing them, but why are you doing them, and why are you doing them right now when you should be doing the thing that's gonna like help you with your dreams and your vision and the lifestyle you're trying to live. So like binge watching that show that you really want to catch. I am not shaming you before somebody is like, oh my gosh, you're shaming. I'm not shaming you. I'm not guilting you, because I do it too. I had to literally tell myself, you cannot, even if you have to treat it as a reward. That's what I had to do with my brain to trick myself. Okay. Am I proud of it? No, but it worked. So like do what you have to do as far as when it comes to things like binge watching or like scrolling socials or anything like that, because like, social media is a marketing tool, but oftentimes that's not why we're using it, right? We're scrolling through everybody else's stuff and getting imposter syndrome, and like comparison is the thief of joy. If like things like that are happening. No, absolutely not. If you have an iPhone, learn how to use focus modes, so that like you actively have to like turn the focus mode off to access certain things, type of energy, or to get notifications. Turn your notifications off, better yet, for most everything. And then when you do not disturb, like make it so only certain people, like people that like if emergency happened, like would need to contact you, that they can get through but nobody else, because that's where we're at right now. Okay? Yeah. So that is pretty much the first, like, this first thing. It's time management. I want creatives to feel like they have, and not even to feel like, to know they have more power than they think. For people, even if you don't call yourself a creative, for people in general who are like frazzled when it comes to their time and feel disorganized and all that stuff, 9 times out of 10, it's not your fault. It's quite literally that you don't know. You cannot do better if you do not know better. So here we are. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope you do not feel guilt or shame, and that like you at least laughed at least once, because at the end of the day, this is what it sounds like during group calls with me. Like the spring semester and 30-day like intensive I had this summer with, the members of the Creative Conservatory. This is what it sounded like, because I am the most unserious person to be teaching other people. But I love that I get to teach other people, and I get like another chance to do so this fall with younger students, and that's new for me because I've trained and developed people for such a long time over my corporate career, but like this is new territory, and so I'm excited to create more immersive experiences, things that feel more accessible but also don't feel overwhelming. I don't want that, and I'm a yapper, so yeah, a 40-minute audiobook sounds like a lot, which is why I was like, I could give this part away for free. And I'll probably do more questions because it's just giving. We're probably going to have another question. We're probably going to have to do another part about time management, because it's just feeling like this is not enough. Is it just me? Okay, maybe I'll do another one based on what questions you have and what comes up, because I get it. Like if you're like, I have all these things that I'm doing and I feel like I cannot possibly do them all. Well, if you're trying to do them all at once, that is probably part of the problem. Something has to give in certain seasons, and you just have to decide what it is and determine what's important. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and that's partially inside of the product, so I'll stop there.